So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session, we will be discussing Indian Express newspaper of the day and we will try to go through a few important articles. We will try to understand what is the reason behind or the context behind that, and then we will try to understand the concept if there is any, or otherwise we will be discussing the news. Okay. We will be starting with the practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture, and then we will be moving further with the facts of the day. Okay. So we will be talking about certain facts which can be important for you. Then we will talk about our constitution. Okay. So we were discussing emergencies. Yesterday we have talked about national emergency. There are certain parts which are left there with respect to the national emergency. We will be talking about that, like what are the impacts of the national emergency. So we will be talking about that, and then moving further we will be talking about these articles which are given over here. That is Nobel Prize in Economics 2024. So we will be talking about that. Then coming to the next one, that is S. Jaishankar in Pakistan. Our foreign minister, external affairs minister, Mr. S. Jaishankar will be there in Pakistan for SCO. Head of the government summit is there, or you can say when we talk about head of the government summit, from our side or from India side, most of the time there will be either foreign minister or the defense minister who will be attending. So this time it is happening in Pakistan. So we will be talking about the agenda. Then moving further, Das warns about the use of AI. RBI governor has warned about the use of excessive use of AI. Okay, and he has given some kind of vulnerabilities over there. So we will be discussing that. Okay. Other than that, also there will be 2 or 3 important articles which will be there, which we will discuss. In the end, there will be one article for your own read. Okay, so let's start with our discussion. Now the question was, what is the primary goal of UN peacekeeping? Okay, this was very easy question. Economic development? No. Environmental protection? No. To maintain peace, security and protect civilians and support stable governance? That can be a, you can say, option. Then political domination. Now domination word is wrong over here. Okay, so you can say that option C would be your right answer. Okay, now let's move further and look at the facts of the day. Before that, for your information, we have GS Foundation course at our centers, which is starting on 16th of October in Lucknow and 17th of October in Karol Bagh at 8 AM. So you can directly visit the center. This course is in offline mode and available in English medium. You can visit the center for the admissions, or you can call on this number 8010440440. For any kind of query, you can call on this number or you can directly visit the center. Okay. Now let's move further. Facts of the day. Here we are talking about something that is basically a horned Naga skull. Okay, so there was this news that recently a 19th century horned Naga skull was withdrawn from an auction in the UK following significant backlash from the authorities in Nagaland and India. You know that when we talk about the Nagaland and when we talk about this particular tribe, that is you can say Nagas, they are mostly prevalent in the areas of northeastern region in the vicinity of Nagaland, some part of Arunachal Pradesh, some parts of Manipur also they have their presence. Okay, so since this skull, horned Naga skull, was there for the auction in the UK, there was this backlash, or you can say protest were there, and because of which they had to withdraw it from the auction. Okay. Bringing attention to the sensitive issue of indigenous human remains and the border debate surrounding the colonial legacies. Okay, so right now for your information, what you have to remember is that there was this horned Naga skull. It is belonging to a tribe which is in India, in the northeastern region. It is prevalent. Okay, at the auction, 19th century Naga human skull was valued at 3,500 to 4,500 pounds alongside remains from Papua New Guinea, Borneo, Solomon Islands and African countries like Benin, Congo, Nigeria. So basically there are various things which were on the auction. Now Naga community has been involved in efforts to repatriate ancestral remains from the Pitts River Museum. Now in Oxford, when we talk about the place, or you can say in UK, there is this particular museum, that's Pitts River Museum, which holds around 6,500 Naga artifacts, okay, which has been collected from India during the colonial period. Okay, so that is one issue which you can say when we talk about the Britishers, they have gone for the plundering of our country. A lot of treasure has been taken from here. They even took the museum artifacts, or you can say those artifacts which were having a heritage, or you can say history or cultural related aspects which are, or you can say that kind of connection they had with India, but they took it away looking at their antiquities, etc. Okay, so that is one thing. So recently for your PCS examination or something, they can ask you this question that from where or you can say what was the artifact which has been withdrawn from the auction, or from which particular community this belonged, etc. So that is about it. Now we can move further to the next one, that is constitutional discussion. We were talking about the emergencies part, you can say 18 over here. Okay, so let's see. We have seen that there are three kind of emergency. We were on the first one, that is article 352. Then when we talk about it specifically, that is article 352, but there are other articles also. Now we will be seeing that what is the impact. Okay, so during the national emergency, fundamental rights. Okay, now fundamental rights are impacted during the national emergency. Now how it will impact it, that is given in the article 358 and 359. Okay, now article 358 says that suspension of fundamental rights under article 19, you know that, and 19 is talking about the freedom of expression. Okay, then article 19, which guarantees freedom such as speech and expression, is automatically suspended, and a national emergency, whenever there is a national emergency which has been declared, okay, at that point of time article 19 will automatically be suspended. Okay, so you will not have that kind of freedom, okay, due to the external aggression or war. Now initially we have started, then we have seen that in three cases national emergency can be imposed. Okay, one was war, second was external aggression, third was the internal disturbances. So in case of the war and external aggression, if national emergency is declared, in that case article 19 will automatically be suspended. Okay, but not in case of the internal emergency. Now this is something important for you to remember. Article 358 is talking about suspension of fundamental right under article 19, and they are saying that only in the case of war and external aggression they can go for the suspension of article 19, not in the case of internal disturbances. The suspension does not require a separate order, it and last as long as the emergency is in effect. Okay, here they are saying that they do not require a special or different order from the you can say resolution of the that is the declaration of the emergency. If emergency is declared on these two fronts, that is external aggression and the war, that it is you can say inherent that article 19 will be suspended. Now then we talk about article 359. In that there will be a presidential order. Okay, so here you can see suspension of the other fundamental right. In article 358 they just talk about article 19 suspension. Okay, then when we talk about article 359 they are talking about the other fundamental rights and their suspension. How can be done? Due to a presidential order. Okay, other fundamental rights except those in article 20 and 21. Again article 20 and 21, these are the articles which cannot be suspended. Okay, so those fundamental rights other than 20 and 21 can be suspended by the presidential order during the emergency. A separate order is required and the only right specified in that order are suspended. So when you are going for the other fundamental rights, whatever rights president has specified in that particular order, let's say they have said that the right article 18, 17, 18, or you can say 25, 26, these are suspended. Okay, so only these will be suspended. Okay, coming to the next one, the parliament must approve the suspension and it can last for the full duration of the emergency or a shorter period specified. Okay, article for when we talk about the constitutional amendment 44th, this is saying that this amendment restricts the president from suspending right to seek judicial enforcement of rights under article 20, that is the protection of in the case of offences, and 21, that is right to life and the personal liberty during the emergency. Now when we talk about these two articles, okay, they used to be suspended earlier as well, but the thing is after 44th constitutional amendment right under article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended. Okay, so that has been given in the 44th amendment. Okay, now we will be starting with our discussion for the day, that is why nation fails or succeeded. Basically there was this you can say Nobel Prize which has been given in the economy or economics, and for the research, and research says that why nations fails or succeed, or you can say how nations get prosperity, or you can say what is the difference between rich and poor countries with respect to the prosperity. So basically they are trying to come up with a comparative analysis wherein they can differentiate between the poor and the rich countries, or you can say prosperous or the you can say underdeveloped countries, that why there is a gap. Okay, so let's see. Nobel Prize in Economics 2024 has been awarded to three people, that is Daron Acemoglu, Simon Johnson and James R. Robinson. Okay, so these are the three people who has been given this you can say Nobel Prize in economics, okay, recognized for their studies how institutions shape economic prosperity. Okay, so basically they have gone for the comparative analysis and they have seen that which country has which kind of institution and how they are shaping their economic you can say fate. Okay, so here you can see they have focused on explaining why some nations are rich and others are poor based on the institutional framework. Okay, so this is something with respect to the Nobel Prize. These three names you should remember and for what reason that Nobel has been given. So that has been given in this particular slide. Now we will be seeing that how they have actually gone through the research. This is the picture of these three people, Nobel Prize in economics for studies of how institutions are formed and affect prosperity. Okay, now let's see. They are saying that institution can be of various types. Okay, they have specified inclusive and the extractive. Inclusive means that these institutions are talking about the inclusivity and they are talking about including all the sections of the society. Okay, and then there are various other shared values which are there. Then when we talk about the extractive, they are saying that that is mostly economic in nature. Okay, so let's see what is happening over here. Inclusive institute, they promotes democracy, protect rights and encourages long term growth. Okay, here they are talking about the long term growth and democracy and protection of the rights, etc. And in such institution they protect the rule of law, property rights, etc., etc. Okay, so mostly you will be seeing that the countries like you can say USA, UK, etc. They are talking about rule of law, they are talking about democracy, they are talking about protection of the human rights, etc. Okay, and they are increasing the long term growth. Okay, coming to the next one, that is extractive institution. Okay, now extractive institution means that there is some kind of you can say authority which is concentrated, okay, in few hands, or you can say some kind of you can say authoritative regimes can be there. Okay, so let's see. Concentration of power, that is one facet. Exploit population and resources for the benefit of few, dictatorship or the lack of legal protection. So basically these are something which are exploitative in nature, or they are trying to extract something out of their country's resources. Okay, now in such cases most of the time you will be seeing that there are authoritarian regimes which are not caring about the human rights of their own subjects. Okay, so that is there. So see, here you can say nations with the inclusive institution, wherein we find these institutions like where rule of law is protected, etc. They see more prosperity. Okay, so that is why such institution will see growth and economic prosperity, and that is why ultimately these nations will get rich. Okay, so that is one thing. Second, extractive institutions undermine the long term economic prosperity and innovation. Okay, so that is basically they are not very you can say well to do with respect to the economy. Okay, now when we talk about the extractive institutions, so whatever institution which has been placed during the time of Britishers in India, these can be considered as the extractive institution, because they wanted to use the resources of a country and they wanted to take the wealth to the Europe. Okay, so that was the you can say thing which you can connect with right now. Okay, now moving further, here you can see colonial impact on the prosperity, which we just talked, that when we talk about the colonial powers and the imperial powers, when they came to countries like India and Africa, etc., they did not focus on the rights of the people, they did not focus on the rule of law, they focused on the extractive policies, the exploitation, so that they can take maximum revenue out of them, they can take maximum wealth out of our country. Okay, so here you can see European colonizers established different institutional framework based on the local conditions. Okay, they have gone for the you can say development of institution which were need of the hour for them. Okay, let's say when we talk about railways in India, railways in India, we consider them as a gift by the Britishers, but actually it was not. They actually bought the railways so that they can go for the more and more industrialization, more and more industry in our country, because labor was available. Okay, and the exploitative conditions of the laborers were there. Other than that, they wanted that if there is some kind of rebellion like 1857, etc., then there should be a troop mobilization, and that troop mobilization can be done at the earliest with the help of railway. That was the logic behind it. Okay, so it was not for the good of Indians, it was for their own betterment. Okay, so these kind of policies are extractive policies. Okay, now in the in regions where settlers faced high mortality risk, they set up extractive institutions because they did not want to you can say spend on the health. Okay, So they have gone for such policies. Example, India was relatively prosperous before British colonization, but poorer due to the extractive institution imposed by the Britishers. Okay, so which we have already discussed. Now India's current situation, if we talk about, okay, India has inclusive institutions because we already have democracy, we have rule of law, we have independent judiciary, we have human rights, we have fundamental rights. All these things are there. So we can say that now we are having inclusive institutions. Growth in India has been inconsistent despite these institutions. That when we talk about the India has always been the countries of anomaly. Okay, anomaly. So when we are talking about these differences which are there, or this inconsistencies, that is there because of the, you can say, what kind of diversity we are having. Okay, a one law or a uniform law will not work, a one or uniform institution will not work in India. So that is why there is inconsistency in India. But anyway, comparison with China, which grew rapidly without inclusive institutions, shows that the complexity of the institutional impact on the growth. Now talking about China, China is having the, you can say, concentrated power, authoritarian regime. Still China is growing. Okay, but again when we talk about the, you can say, condition of Chinese, you will see there is no you can say they might not have that much rights or the freedom of the expression, etc. Okay, but the thing is they have gone for the, you can say, economic growth. So this particular you can say idea of prosperity relating with the institution, that is quite complex in nature. There can be exceptions here and there. Okay, so that is about this. Now what is the, you can say, future outlook for India? So here you can say India's potential lies in the strengthening its institution to drive substantial economic growth. The efficiency and the integrity of India's institution are key to realizing the economic power. So you have to make your institution efficient and with the integrity, so that there is no corruption. Okay, global trends, if we talk about, this is the declining strength of democratic institution, highlighting the importance of clean governance and the public trust in the institution. World over we are witnessing that the inclusive institutions are on decline. Okay, so that is there. So we have discussed the Nobel Prize, we have discussed that why it is given and what were the, you can say, findings of these people. Okay, now we can move further to the next one, that is talking about the S. Jaishankar in Pakistan. Okay, so now when we are talking about Pakistan, you know that after our 2015 there was no visit has been made by our foreign minister to Pakistan. When we talk about 2015, you know that Sushma Swaraj was the last foreign minister who has made a visit to Pakistan, and reason being that after that there was this terrorist activities which has happened. There was this Uri and Pathankot, and because of which we have also gone for the retaliatory actions, we have gone for the air strike, we have gone for the you can say surgical strike. Okay, after that we have made it clear that both the terrorism and talk will not go hand in hand. Okay, we will not be sitting with, or you can say victim will not be sitting with the perpetrator. So considering that, we have said that we will not be going for any talks. Now our foreign minister is going for the SCO summit over there. So there was this you can say assumption which was taken that he might go and talk about the bilateral you can say issues as well, but he made it clear that he is going there as a, you can say, guest, or you can say as a member of a multilateral institution and not for the bilateral talks. So he had made it clear that there will be no talk with respect to India Pakistan issues, only you can say talks will be there on the SCO related parts. Okay, so that is there. Let's see what kind of, but still one member from our country is going over there which is having a high rank, that is foreign minister, then there are high chances that there might be a, you can say, potential in the future for the talk. Okay, so let's see. Now here in May 2023, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari came to India. Okay, as and our you can say external affairs minister made a remark that you can say Bilawal Bhutto Zardari as a prompter, justifier and the spokesperson of terrorism industry which is mainstay in Pakistan. Okay, so in that particular summit that has happened in Goa, I guess. Okay, so that was also related to SCO. In that summit they have actually, there was this heated argument between India and Pakistan. Okay, so that was the remark which was made by our foreign minister. Okay, victims of the terrorism do not sit together with the perpetrator of the terrorism to discuss terrorism. Let's be very clear on this. Pakistan's credibility is depleting even faster than its forex reserve. So that was a very witty comment by our minister, but anyways this was something which has happened at that point of time. Okay, anyway, so Mr. Bilawal over here, who was in India for a meeting for foreign ministers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, sought to turn the spotlight to the bilateral issue, playing victim card and raising the issues of Article 370 and Kashmir. Okay, so that has started from this particular issue when he visited here for the SCO summit, and then he started to bring up the bilateral issues, and that is why our minister has made such remarks over here. Okay, now moving further, India, Pakistan since then, when we talk about this particular issue of Goa, which when it has happened, after that when we talk about Jaishankar will travel to Islamabad on Tuesday for the SCO Council of Heads of the Government meetings on October 15-16. So starting today there will be this summit which is happening. In India, a reduced mandate for BJP. Now see, in Pakistan there are not very good conditions, okay, politically speaking, economically speaking, or socially speaking. The society there is divided, economy is not working well. Politically, if we see, so you know that how that election has happened, Imran Khan was in jail and he has had a proxy candidate outside. So all these things are there. Okay. Now when we talk about India, after 2024 elections, we also have a coalition government, but despite that, the coalition government has not made any statement with respect to Pakistan, or there are high chances they are in line with the BJP's mandate. Okay. Then when we talk about the security and the foreign affairs, that ministries and that department has been in the BJP's control. Okay, so that is there. Here you can see BJP remains firmly in charge of the India's foreign policy and the security policy. Okay, for New Delhi, the challenges is emanating from China. When we talk about the after 2020 the Galwan issue, after that we are focused more about the China and not about the Pakistan. We are not even talking to Pakistan about anything. We are focused more on the China part. Okay, and then how Pakistan is trying to gain the attention, you will see that we have seen terrorism attack recently in the Jammu region, and this, because of which we can see that there is this, again you can say our focus is shifted to the areas of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, because after the Galwan issue, most of the troops has been deployed on the LAC. Okay, so our focus was less on the LOC, more on the LAC, and because of which right now you can say there was this void, and because of which we are witnessing these terrorist attacks. Okay, now coming to this part over here, but the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir recently has seen some terror attacks, and that is why now we are seeing that this situation has become delicate over here. Plans for everything. So Mr. Jaishankar has made it clear that they are going for the you can say multilateral visit and not for the bilateral issues. So they will not be talking about it, but he said that he has planned for everything which is going to happen, and he has planned for things which is not on the agenda but they might happen. Okay, so when we talk when we go to such a platform, there might be some kind of questions which can be raised, so he has prepared well for them as well. Okay, now when we talk about SCO has, you can say, two kind of meetings. There are various frameworks, but two are important. One is head of the state. This is the highest level meeting wherein our PM and the counterparts will be meeting. Okay, then we have the head of the government. Okay, from in this particular visit, mostly the representative of the government will be going over there. From India side, most of the time you will be seeing that either the foreign minister or the defense minister will go. Okay, so that you can keep in your mind that SCO has two kind of meetings which are happening. One is at the head of the government and one is head of the state. Head of the state is the highest level of the meeting. Okay, now here you can say looking back and forward now. So 2014 our Prime Minister sweared in for the first time, that is Mr. Narendra Modi became Prime Minister, and he has invited the Pakistan's Prime Minister or the counterpart, that is Nawaz Sharif, for his swearing in ceremony. He came, and in 2015 Sushma Swaraj visited. 2015 our External Affairs Minister has visited Pakistan, and then later on the Prime Minister himself has gone to Lahore on a surprising visit and wishing you can say Nawaz Sharif for his birthday, etc. Okay, then there was this, you can say, when 2015 our External Affairs Minister has actually visited, then there was this comprehensive bilateral dialogue which was restarted, or you can say which was resumed. Okay, after that we have witnessed that there was this attack in 2016. Okay, when we talk about the Pathankot, that Pathankot happened in 2016, then we have gone for the surgical strike, then Uri has happened, okay, Balakot has happened, all these things has happened, and we have gone for the surgical strike, we have gone for the air strike. Okay, and after that we have decided that we will not be talking to Pakistan on the until unless this terrorism stops. Okay, so that was the seed from, you can say, looking backward and forward. Now if we talk about forward, so after this particular visit, okay, before that in 2023 Bilawal Bhutto has visited India, okay, and then there was this heated argument, and this time our minister is going over there, okay, and he has said that there will be no bilateral talk, but the thing is there is this you can say opportunity which stays open for the next time, okay, because recently you must have seen that we are not talking to Pakistan, but recently last month I guess we have sent a letter to Pakistan regarding the Indus water sharing treaty, okay, and saying that we want a review of this treaty, okay. There are high chances India would want to do away with the treaty, okay. So all these things are there on the agenda, and when we talk about the future you can say opportunities, there might be a chance that India and Pakistan will be working on the relations, okay. Anyway, moving further, we will be talking about the next article, that is talking about the heavy reliance on AI can lead to concentration risks, okay. Now we are saying that, or the RBI governor is basically saying that if you go for the heavy reliance on the AI, okay, in India right now, or you can say world over right now, there are few industry or few you can say players which are there which are working in AI, okay. And if right now if you go for the high reliance, that means that most of the market will be captured by these you can say these companies only, okay. So ultimately that will be concentrated and there will be monopoly which can be created, okay. So that was the concern which has been raised by the Shaktikant Das, that is the governor of RBI. Let's see what he has said. RBI governor Shaktikant Das caution against the over reliance on the artificial intelligence and the new age technology in the financial sector, okay. Emphasize that the while AI offers business growth and the financial opportunities, it also possesses the risk essentially in the terms of the financial stability, okay. We will see how. Now moving further, here you can say concentration risk, heavy reliance on AI, especially when only few tech providers are there in the business, okay, and most of the market will be captured by them. So if in the future if there are new players which are coming in the market, they for them it will be difficult to capture the market because market will be captured by these companies, okay. When we talk about, let's say, Google, okay, Google is a internet search engine, but most of the market has been captured by the Google. When we talk about YouTube, there are various platforms which are providing you videos, but YouTube is the only platform which is most famous, okay. So considering that, there can be certain companies which can have a sway like OpenAI, okay, ChatGPT, all these things are there which are prominent, okay. So because of which there can be systematic risk, or you can say if these systems fails, okay, so there can be systematic failures related risk, or you can say over reliance can lead to concentration of the assets, okay. Now disruption in these technologies could have widespread system failure with potential impacts on across the financial market globally. If you are over relied on AI and one day if AI is not working, for let's say some kind of system failure is that there, or some kind of cyber attack has happened, then it can be a hurdle for us, okay. Other than that, he has also talked about certain vulnerabilities, because, or you can say certain new challenges. Here you can say AI adoption could increase the susceptibility to the cyber attacks, data breaches, and the risk in the automated decision making. Now this automated decision making is done by the AI on the basis of some data, but there can be some kind of, you can say, false decision that can be made by AI, because that is not AI is not having their own intelligence. They are given and imparted, or you can say some kind of data has been given from the outside, and on the basis of that they are deciding, okay. So there can be a problem with that, or because you can say that they do not have the emotions, that can also work, you can say, against in some cases. Now moving further, this might lead to unpredictable outcomes, particularly in the complex financial scenarios, okay. So that is also there. AI may cause large fluctuations in the capital flows, currencies, and the inflation, affecting not only the emerging market but also the advanced economy. So ultimately over reliance can have some of these challenges. Now coming to the recommendations which are made by the Shaktikant Das for the banks, that is, he has advised the banks and the financial institutions to implement adequate risk management strategies as they adopt AI. When we talk about the risk management strategy, you know, when we talk about the inflation, etc., we have mechanism like CRR, we have SLR, okay, we have repo rates. These all are risk management strategies which are in place, okay. With respect to AI also, he is saying that there should be a risk management strategy, okay. Urged continued caution and the strong safeguard as these technologies are evolving, okay. So this is what has been recommended by the governor. Now we can move further to the next article, which is basically talking about the eating less is linked to some kind of, you can say, healthier lifespan, or you can say larger lifespan, okay. So we'll see how. this article, if you want to give it a read, that would be fine. Otherwise, this stuff would be sufficient for you. Okay. Now, if we talk about this study, the overview is given over here. A study on 960 genetically diverse mice to examine the effects of the calorie restriction and the intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting has been a topic which is trending right now. Okay, there are many youths which are going for this particular option for a healthier lifestyle. Now, in this particular study, they have said that whether it is healthy or not, because there are various studies which are saying that that can lead to, you can say, some kind of health issues as well. Because you can say if you are going for the intermittent fasting and you are eating in the night, let's say after 8 or 9, then your body will be having high on the sugar, okay, because of the, you can say, digestion activities, etc. in the night. Okay, that can be a problematic thing, because you can say sudden rise in the sugar level in the body, that can cause some kind of heart related diseases as well. Okay, anyways, but in this studies they have said that if you are going for the calorie restrictions, or there can be, because of calorie restriction, there can be weight loss. Okay, so that is if you are having heavy weight, then that can be one thing. Then it can be having an impact on the metabolism. Okay, it is said that it can improve the metabolism as well. Okay, now see, focus on whether these dietary restrictions lead to weight loss and improved metabolism or not. That was the question which they were trying to answer in the study. Okay, so let's see what has been the, you can say, observations. Dietary restrictions, if we talk about 20% and 40% calorie reduction, intermittent fasting lead to weight loss and positive metabolic changes. Okay, so they are saying that if you are going for the 20 to 40% less diet, okay, or you can say less food you are intaking, in that case there can be weight loss and the positive metabolism changes can be there in the body. Okay, however, these changes alone did not explain longevity. Say, you can say the lifespan will increase, more factors are involved. Okay, so if you want to increase the lifespan, or I would say healthier lifespan, okay, for healthier lifespan, not only dietary restrictions work, there are other factors as well, that is immunity. Okay, so role of the immune health. Longevity benefits are tied with the immune health and the red blood cell function, not just metabolism. Okay, so along with the metabolism, you have to have a good immune system as well. Red blood cells function should be better. Okay, so all these things are necessary if we are going for looking for a healthier lifestyle. Okay, most resilient mice which lost the least weight showed better immune response and longer lifespan. So basically they are saying that the experiments were done on the mice. They have seen that the most resilient mice which has gone for the, you can say, restriction in the dietary patterns, but he has not got for gone for a much weight loss. Okay, so he has lost the least weight and has a better immune response, and because of which he has a better or the longer lifespan as well. Okay, now moving further, the study with the mice. So here you can say the long term calorie restrictions linked to increasing in the lifespan of the mice. Focus is on the short term fasting, intermittent fasting, showing potential benefits with the chronic dieting. Okay, so that was the focus, that was the thing which they are working on. Resilience, stress response and the immune health played a key role in the longevity of the mice. So basically they have worked on the resilience, they have looked at the pattern of the stress and the immune health. Now, importance of the finding, if you look at why this particular report is important for us, here you can say study suggests that the health span, the period of life spent in good health, may be more important than the mere extending the lifespan. So that is why I told you I would prefer a word, that is healthier lifespan. Okay, so they are saying that health span should be better. Implications of human studies on the calorie restriction and the potential for anti-aging strategies to focus on maintaining immune functions and the stress resilience. So basically they are talking about if you want a better or the healthier lifestyle, so you should focus on 2-3 things. That is, one is your calorie restrictions. Okay, second is your immune health or immune response. Okay, and third is anti-aging. Recently 2 to 3 days back also we have talked about a study which is talking about the, you can say, anti-aging treatments, etc. Okay, now this is about this study. Now we'll move to the next, that is you can say in IR, China deploys 125 war planes in the military drills to warn Taiwan. Okay, so these things keep happening in the region. When we talk about time, this is your, you can say, Taiwan. this is your Taiwan Strait. Okay, here we have the East China Sea, this is your South China Sea. Okay, and here we have Philippines in the south of that. Okay, now coming to the you can say over here, Chinese military drills near Taiwan have been a routine, but on Monday's drill it was something unusual which has happened over here. Okay, because this was a large scale drill. Its purpose was flaunting China's ability to impose a blockade or cut off of the Taiwanese ports and the trade, international shipping lanes, etc. from the rest of the world, as well as the repel the arrival of the foreign forces. Okay, so basically they have done it for making sure that they can isolate this island, that is Taiwan. Okay, because China and Taiwan has this issue. Taiwan want to be independent, and China wants it to have control over the Taiwan. They are saying that this is part of one China policy. Okay, one China policy says that Taiwan is part of China. Okay, Hong Kong is part of China. Okay, so all these things are there, and because of which China has gone for a unusually large drill in this region, so that they can warn Taiwan as well as the other foreign powers which were trying to have a, you can say, footprints in this particular region. Okay, so please remember that in the north we have Japan, we have South Korea, etc. Now passing reference can be given to these two things. PMLA allows bail for the sick and infirm. Supreme Court has said that we have to work in the four walls of the law, and that is saying that if some person is sick, okay, so despite the section 45 of the PMLA, which is saying that until unless there is you can say on the discretion of the judge, they can go for the, you can say, bail, etc. But the thing is, they have said that if a person or the accused is kind of having a sick health, in that case also that bail can be given. Okay, so that is there. Proviso of section 45 clause 1 of the PMLA specifically contemplates that a person who is sick or infirm may be released on bail if the special court so directs. Okay, so that is on the discretion of the court. Talking about the India Canada, so because of this particular issue which was there when we talk about this Hardeep Singh Nijjar, he was a Khalistani separatist and he was killed in Canada, and Canada has said that Indians has something to do with this particular killing, and we have said that these allegations are false and absurd. But recently also they have made you can say came up with the same topic, and they have talked about similar things. They have actually targeted few you can say diplomats and saying that these are person of interest. Okay, and they have said that they have some kind of links with the this Bishnoi link is also there. So all these things has been discussed, because of which 6 diplomats has been withdrawn from the, you can say, embassies. Even Indian side and the Canadian side, they have gone for the withdrawal of the six diplomats that is there. Okay, so that is something which has happened. So we can say that India and Canada's ties are again strained. Okay, and that has happened after few days when our Prime Minister and the, you can say, counterpart from the Canada, they have visited in the, you can say, Laos. Okay, so that is about it. Now for your own read, there is this article: NASA launches a spacecraft to score Jupiter moon Europa for ingredients for life. Okay, so this spacecraft, that is Europa Clipper, that is been launched by NASA. Okay, so look into the Jupiter, and you can say when we are talking about the Jupiter, they are trying to look at the moon of the Jupiter, that is Europa. Okay, and they are trying to look at the contents of the, you can say, moons which from which it is formed. Okay, so that we can have some idea about the formation of Earth and the moon system, etc. Okay, so you can go through this article. Now in the end, there is this practice question for you. The island of Taiwan lies to the north of which country? Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines and Malaysia. So you have to attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. You have to tell me that to which country's north, you can say, we have Taiwan as an island. Okay, so that is about it. That would be all for today's discussion. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel.